Hi, good morning. I'm Angie. I'm with Geology of the Soul. I'm coming to you live on September 5th. It is, a Thursday. It's a beautiful day out here in Tucson. It was 72 degrees this morning when I was walking the dogs with not a lot of humidity, which was really, really nice because it's been really hot this summer. Good morning, Regina and Laura. So let's see what the cards have to say for today. Good morning, box. I also want to let y'all know I will be sending out an email later today to my email list that Witchcraft 101 is opening up. We're going to run it from the September full moon in Pisces to the October full moon in Aries, just in time for Samhain. So if you are a newbie witch or you're interested in witchcraft and maybe you haven't ever cast a spell or you haven't done a spell in like 20 years, come join Witchcraft 101 and I'm going to walk you through all the ways of being a witch and then how to live a witchy life every day. Good morning, Tanya and Steph. So that is open, and I'm going to send that email out about it this morning, so that'll be good. I hope everybody's having a fabulous day and doing the self-love badass self-love September challenge. It's been so much fun to watch this spread across social media. We're having so much fun. We're talking about doing one for October. So stay tuned. All right, today, what's in the way of me loving my badass self? Let's see what's in the way. Let's check this out. Yeah, the cards are ready. All right, what is in the way? My own thoughts. Check that out. So the Eight of Swords is all about how we bind ourselves up with our own thoughts. So this is talking about all the different ways that I throw shade at myself throughout the day. This is talking about all the ways that I say that I suck, or that I say, well, you can't do that because of blah, 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 blah. Or you say, oh my God, yeah, that's like too much. You can't take that on. Or you're ridiculous for thinking that you can hire on 2 new readers and a reader-wrangler and, still pay your bills. Or are you crazy? You're taking on, I have another personal project that I am not going to announce yet, coming on this month when I was already feeling overwhelmed. So then are you crazy for taking on this project? That is so ridiculous. How can you blah, 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 blah. And so these are all the ways that my thoughts totally bind me up and keep me from loving my badass self. They also contribute toward feelings of inadequacy, and they contribute towards feelings of anxiety. Yesterday morning, I had a bit of a meltdown in terms of anxiety, and my stomach just went nuts because that's what happens when I get really, really anxious. And I couldn't keep anything in, and I just then finally ended up shutting down and having to go to bed because I was just so overwhelmed with fear and anxiety around being able to do everything. So yeah, I get scared and anxious about not being able to do everything. So what do? Instead of getting shit done, I go lay down in bed because I can't function. It's like overloaded circuit board or whatever. So I was able to get up from that though and feel I'm doing much better today, actually. I just had to get through the terror of everything that was going on and realize that I got this. This reminds me of, I was going to look for my phone, but I'm talking to it. I pulled this morning from the Dark Goddess app. This is a tarot app that I absolutely adore. I think it's something like $4.99, but I highly recommend it to everybody. It's really on point and is beautiful. I pulled Pele this morning, which is, she has to do goddess of volcanoes, or has to do with fire and the queen of fire, basically, kind of thing. And the write-up for it was so beautiful, and it was about wanting what you want and go after your passion and your desire and don't worry about what other people think, and go for it, and just trust the flow and trust your passion, which is exactly what I needed to hear. And part of what I was, I tend to second guess myself and doubt myself and wonder, you know, if I can, you know, am I being ridiculous? Am I being crazy? Am I, you know, all of these things that a normal, rational, you know, God, I love him dearly, but we're exes for a reason. This is a very, very close friend of mine who was the reason we were together while I was in my 30s, and he's a very reasonable and rational and sort of, you know, logical kind of person. And so I tend to often compare my choices against what I think that he would say. And the last few months have definitely been things that I know that he'd be like, what? I mean, he's going with it. And I have to remove that voice from my head. I have to remove that voice from my head, and I have to own it, and I have to go with, no, this is truly, honestly what I want and need and desire, and this is what is important for me. And just because somebody else actually, you know, just because somebody else thinks that it's not logical doesn't mean that it's not something that you're supposed to be doing. And so I think that that's absolutely what this card is saying for me today. Good morning, Charlie. Yes, you caught me live, and I'm about to say goodbye. Thank you, Steph. I appreciate the you got thises. Those are so important for me. So yeah, let me double check how much time I have. We got a couple more minutes. So I love this idea that it's my own thoughts that get in the way of me loving my badass self. You know, it's not even that it's what other people think, it's what I think other people are going to think that gets in the way. You know how that happens so often. And those are absolutely coming from my own places of fear or anxiety. Thank you, Serendipity. She says, I believe in you. These are very helpful cheerleading. You know, I like to cheerlead my clients for a reason, because I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of that, and it's absolutely fabulous. So thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, go head over to Geology of the Soul. We're a whole collective of witches now. You can get a variety of readings from a variety of people. Witchcraft 101 is going to launch on the full moon next week, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. I look forward to reading your cards for the September, the Badass September Self-Love Divination Challenge. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.